I agree.
I didn't even watch Blue Beetle. Wow. Just the trailer. I like the trailer.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
You know why this trailer felt like it was old?
Because it took so long to make the movie.
Well, no, because they cut the trailer to essentially be a carbon copy of Thor: Love and Thunder trailer.
What?
I see what you're saying now that you say that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The same formula, same narration, everything.
What?
It's Thor underwater.
Yeah, did you
who is a schlub, doesn't want to be a superhero, is done with the biz.
He's a dad.
Drawn back in it. Yeah. I don't like superheroes not wanting to be superheroes. It just drives me nuts.
I know. Did you see in the very beginning of the trailer? You see him hanging his.
Oh God, Dave.
He's dry. Is that supposed to be tongue in cheek?
Like, yeah, we covered that.
What was? Yeah, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Hanging with me as well. Yeah. It's Atlantean bloody outfit, mate. You don't need to wash it. What you do?
I know, or dry it.
Well, I mean, you have to watch the inside, but that's just silly. I mean, it's just.
Do you? Do you?
I mean, well, you're wearing it, right?
Well, the biggest mistake is okay, time out. You guys are, the biggest mistake is he's supposed to have it dry clean, not clean. I mean, that's the big problem.
Where's the flaw?
But doesn't he prefer being wet, though? Like in the end
I know, that was the joke.
Flash. Yeah, he's like, I live right here in the water.
So does he just pee in his suit like old people in a pool?
Kind of like when you're in a wetsuit.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're in a wetsuit.
So culture, Paul, you did mention a little bit, but do you have any more to say about the trailer? Or?
Yeah, stupid. All sorts of robots.
Damn, dude. You suck too.
Incoherent insanity.
It's bullshit. I understood it, you stupid fucks.
Once again, doesn't want to be a superhero.
It looked good.
Some person will.
Actually, it was like,
give him a speech.
wow, that actually looked good.
Him to change his mind. Yeah.
Aquaman.
I should do this.
Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom,
or
something.
Because he didn't want to be king, basically. So
he didn't want to be king.
Oh yeah. This is like a Spider-Man 2.
No, either. It sounds like
it. He doesn't want to be Aquaman. He wants to raise the kid. He wants to hang diapers out on the.
That's what I mean. He doesn't even want to be king. He just wants to be Aqua Dad. I was waiting for Eddie Murphy to come in like Daddy Daycare.
Come on, you already made that joke.
In the water. This is another step back. So it's double step back. Doesn't want to be king. Doesn't want to be Aquaman. Wants to be dead. Anyway, that's what it seemed like to me. And all the CGI effects. I mean, they're just.
Oh my God! I swear, in the trailer he said, "I got a job." And he's king.
I think I would just suggest
I don't get it,
and
but
one
okay.
thing I'll add to this conversation because outside of the Amber Turd stuff, which is that I think the things that showed up in the trailer.
I think it's Amber Heard.
Snippets that
Stupid
they thought was
fuck.
passable CGI. It was the best they had to offer of everything that they put together. Because you're right, it was nonsensical. It was cut very oddly, and it left a lot to be desired. I think that's
and I think they overdid the dudeness of it. Like it was kind of charming.
No way.
The film was that he was kind of the dude, and now he's gone full Big Lebowski.
Oh my God, Lebowski sucks.
Different that one as well. They did that. He's water dude bro. Right?
Yeah.
It's different.
Water dude bro? Really?
Why do you think we're going backwards? I felt like there was a moment where CGI, it almost indistinguishable from. It was just looked so good, and now everything just looks like just looks like shit.
Not everything.
We've been reporting on that.
I just feel like it's been getting worse.
Well, it's oversaturated to the point, like, beforehand it was used very sparingly, in which case it was so short, so quick compared to the rest of the movie you didn't notice it. Unless it was really, really bad.
No, again, I completely disagree. It's dependent on what movie you're looking at. So
Yeah, that's true.
a movie made for $85 million has copious amounts of CGI, and it looks absolutely staggering. Why? Well, a colour palette for starters. So the colour edit, the colorist, whoever's doing the CG and how they're editing it together, has done a very good job of not having drastically glaring colours. They're not, one colour
What movie?
is bright yellow and the other is not bright green, for instance.
Kind of like why
You know,
District 9 holds up today.
Oh my God, District
Well, there's
9
another side of that, and
sucks.
that's why they started.
Fuck
making
off.
it, and that's because
God.
companies like Marvel and DC rush
That movie
their
is so
CGI when they're
stupid.
wall-to-wall CGI. They don't have the time to perfect it like they do with smaller projects and such, where they're not changing everything every 5 minutes.
Well, they actually do. Like, so they do and they don't. It's that they spend so much money on everything else. They're such large productions that they spend so much money on everything else. They do actually have the time. I mean, The Flash had the time, so did Aquaman. It's been made for years.
Oh, they stopped. Well, here's the difference there is they actually stopped working on them.
Yeah, but I mean, but then even, again, it's the structure. It's who you choose to get to do it as well. I mean, if you're using predominantly American-based VFX artists, they're going to cost significantly more money. If you look at Godzilla -1 trailer, and you look at the VFX there, the directed to the VFX, it looks amazing. Pisses all over Aquaman, right? So it's actually where you outsource the work to. It's how much
Are you
time
serious?
you're giving them to do
No,
the
I don't
rendering.
think so.
A lot of it, actually.
I think you're.
Coloring.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. A lot of these things are not fully
It's basically the people that do the work.
and they have
It's not where the work is done.
You have softer edges. You have they're well blended. Trays are within the frame. Everything that you put in the hard time. But they're also working with the medium.
I wasn't impressed with that fucking Godzilla trailer.
And especially if they're doing real-time rendering behind them.
I don't think that.
No, probably didn't.
Reportedly have something CGI in almost every single shot. That's kind of part of my point too.
Well, this
That sounds-
movie is
So what?
It's worse yet because I mean you're dealing with supersuits that are essentially not there. So you're actually animating every single aspect of the
Supersuit is not there?
They have their head.
They did that in
Jason
fucking,
and it looks like they do.
They did that in,
Nicole Kidman stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that is just hideous.
I have to, one thing we have to give this movie a bit of slack. Anything underwater, I've shot it, and it's horrible.
What?
And so
No way.
They can do with CGI.
Oh my God. How you guys are stupid.
They shot stuff underwater.
No, this is all dry for wet. This is all dry for wet.
They did do some, but not much.
I mean, outside of him diving into water,
Well, no, but I saw some behind-the-scenes stuff where they were doing some other things. They're called blue screen tanks. They're literally just in a tank that's surrounded by blue screen so they can be inserted into the ocean background and whatnot. You're right.
The air movement is very difficult to do in CGI.
Yeah. Well, and then when it comes to like the Little Mermaid, they didn't even use water for that. For instance, they just had them on wires, and they did everything CGI around them, including her hair and crap like that. So it was like pointless. Yeah. And 6, what did you think of the trailer? Since you're the female perspective on the panel, did Momoa get you fired up?
Well, I'm not blind, but I'm also an adult, so I need to see a little bit more than Aquaman taking 2 steps and then striking a pose, because he seemed to do that about 3 times too many.
What?
During the trailer. I
What?
love exposition. I love character dialogue. So I'm looking forward to a trailer like that.
Yeah, what
Like
trailer
Art said,
did you guys
I was
watch?
by the trailer, I expected to.
I actually liked the trailer, and it was good.
Forward to the movie.
I don't know
So
what the
after seeing
fuck
the
you
trailer,
guys are watching.
it was kind of a nothing burger for me.
Oh my
As far
God.
as, Aquaman doing the women's work, I assume
What?
he's dead or in the hospital when he's doing that.
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah, she's
Well, here's
in
the thing.
jail.
You know, initially from the trial, Amber said that at that time she was supposed to have some big action sequence that got cut, and now her role is limited in the film to mostly being in a hospital bed in a coma while she's pregnant. Right, that's what she said on the stand. And now we've had so many changes to this movie. There was leaks early on. There's people going around, and this is a big spoiler, so plug your ears for 2 seconds if you don't want to hear this.
What?
Supposedly the baby gets killed at the beginning. I'm wondering if they
wow.
kill her off at the beginning too.
Wow.
And that's his whole motivation for going to his brother, going to get Black Panther
Oh, right.
in the movie. Now, if they redid it that way, that would make sense, because otherwise, in the other version, she would have just been in a coma the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is
Actually, does make sense.
But in this way, at least if they get her out of the picture altogether. But Script, let's get your reaction because I got a next question that has everything to do with Amber. So yeah.
I mean, it's a story about a trident again. Only now Black Manta has a trident. So we're doing a replay of the previous film to a degree. It's interesting. Patrick Wilson looks more like Aquaman than Aquaman.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's true.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn. Fucking Jason Momoa's perfect. Stupid
I am
fucks.
laughing. A lot of the people on social media claiming WB kept Amber Heard. I'm like, dude, if you're selling a car for used parts, you don't bring it in for detailing and a new paint job. You just sell it. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, just sell it, dude.
That's a good analogy.
I mean, that's just what it is. You really think Ezra's coming back? You really think Amber's coming back for future DC projects or any projects at Warner Brothers? Yeah, they've got to
Got it.
No, and that's where people have been debating about her being in the trailer and stuff. Like even Andre and stuff had brought up that it was a contractual thing, and you could help me answer this, Script. As far as I know, the contractual stuff for anything for an actor to have to do with advertising, it's all on the studio, and it's up to their discretion.
Oh, somebody
My
shot
guess is
me.
somebody like James Wan or whatever pressured them to put her in the trailer, and this was a compromise.
Yeah,
This is how much
thanks, man.
What do you think?
Thanks, I needed that.
That's a good question. I mean, right now with the strike, nobody can promote this film except for James Wan.
No, but I'm talking about because people are thinking she's in the trailer because she's contractually obligated to be in the trailer. Like, I've never heard of that before.
I've never heard of that.
I've never
That's
heard
what
of
I
that
said.
either.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I said, as far as contractual obligation for advertising, I said that's up to the studio's discretion. That's my understanding. But I mean, you can be contractually obligated to have to go on the press tour and all that kind of stuff. That's up to the studio, was my point. But I wanted to ask you specifically because I know you.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
I mean, you don't listen. You can advertise.
They're both
You can
gone.
advertise who's in the film, but you don't have to necessarily have to put them in the trailer.
Exactly, that's what I thought. Yeah.
There's no obligation to. This trailer here was approved by Warner Brothers, most likely, and this is what you're going to get.
Right.
And the actors' egos only go so far. Once they finish the product, they really want to. They don't want to have anything more to do with it. In fact, they would rather have a voice double come in and do an some ADR themselves. Yeah. Themselves. They really have no interest in coming back.
Audio direct record.
They'd rather get a guy who does it, or a girl who does a pretty good impression of them
Oh, bullshit.
to do any kind of minor.
Oh, come
So
on,
then
man.
that leads to my next question, and that's the main question for the whole panel. Rewind back a little bit, Darth. I know you probably weren't listening at the time, but I'm just about everybody else here.
I'm listening.
No, I mean, at the time I said this.
Okay.
Yeah, but so pretty much everybody else here on the panel kind of remembers this, though. But I had said way back when, I don't think that the Flash is going to do that bad. I figured Michael Keaton's going to basically trump Ezra Miller being in this movie.
Goddamn, dude. You just said that yesterday.
I thought it'd do at least $400 or $500
What
million.
the fuck,
At the end of the
dude?
day, it managed to not even.
You're doing the same thing. You said this yesterday.
From my memory.
Holy shit,
so
dude.
Amber Heard being a much higher profile problem, let's say. Do you think she's going to trump Jason Momoa? Oh yeah, you guys got to recall, and this is one thing I'm glad Darth was here today for. The Amber Heard trial was as big as the OJ trial. That was like this generation's OJ trial. Everybody watched that. I guarantee there was 90% of the people that watched that knew who Amber Heard was before it, but now they know. I said this last night.
Yeah,
you walk
I
up
didn't.
to 10 people on
So
the
who
street,
cares?
Who's Ezra Miller? Maybe
I know who Ezra Miller
know
is.
who he is.
Jesus
You ask
Christ,
10
dude.
people who Amber Heard is, I guarantee you at least 8 or 9 of those people are going to go, who's
Bullshit.
that fucking bitch?
What if?
Because they all hate
What if
her ass.
nobody knows them?
That's my
How about
question
that?
for the panel. So let's start with you, Darth, right up
Maybe I
front.
should go out
Do you think
freaking
Amber
asking
Heard is gonna be a
freaking
problem
10
for
people.
going
They
forward?
know Ezra Miller and
Basically,
Amber Heard.
Ezra Miller kind of did.
That's what I wanna
I think
know.
that was the biggest problem with that movie.
10 people on the street.
Absolutely. If you go to the change.org, remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2 petition, that's at 4,600,000. So like, if those 4 million people, 4.5 million people take it seriously, and they don't go see the movie, if she's in it, which it looks like she is, then it's gonna, like if these people put their money where their mouth is and don't go see it, then yeah, if their movie is screwed. It's not making $1 billion. It's not making. I bet you this will make 250 to 300 worldwide.
Wow.
That's my guess. That's my honest to God guess. I think people are just done with the generic, just shitty.
Generic.
You're not reinventing the wheel.
Generic.
You're just to be seen here. And honestly, Amber Heard is a huge detractor. I know people love Jason Momoa, but at the end of the day, I think, like, after the first few people see the movie and they start talking about how much Amber's in it, I think that might also affect how many people may or may not go see it. I don't know. I think for sure it will affect it. How much? I couldn't say.
Well, Mr. Adams stepped away, so Paul, it sounds like you're opinion on it that might be different.
Well, don't overestimate the size of the TikTok market. TikTok is 14
You're not even on TikTok, you old fuck.
Platforms in the world. I think we give it way too much credit for its influence. YouTube,
Yeah, a little bit.
is number 2. So, people like us talking about it probably will have.
No, not really.
I don't know. I don't equate the same formula for disaster for this movie as in the Ezra Miller Flash.
God damn, why does everybody go to the Flash? Flash was a good movie. Fuck you guys.
I guess, as you said,
God damn.
Is Jason going to trump Heard in this movie?
You know what was a stinky movie? That one with
there's a better chance
the one Russian assassin, whatever her name was. That movie sucked ass.
I'm definitely open to, those kind of.
It's just I know. He's starring in it.
It just felt to me like that kind of nostalgia bait with Keaton, like it worked for the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought maybe this would be in like DC's No Way Home, and it
nope.
didn't. So,
but Ezra starred. That was his starring vehicle.
Yeah,
was not starring.
That's true. But I think the overall disdain for Amber in the public eye.
What?
I don't know
disdain for her.
Like,
I don't give a shit about her.
That's what I was asking.
She's a
That's
fucking
kind of
actor. Who
you
gives
guys
a
are having a
shit?
debate. I'm kind of having
God.
my brain is like,
I don't watch that
being in this movie
fucking goddamn court shit.
compared to Ezra Miller being the star of the Flash.
How many people really paid attention to that
those
court
things
shit?
cross each other out.
Not me.
Like, is it?
Who gives a shit?
I think you just look at it through and rationally from it. That question you kind of can answer itself with just numbers, because you have 5 million plus people that signed a petition that said to get you out of the movie, or we're not going to see her in the movie. Get her out of the movie, we're not going to see it. That's
no way.
If they stay committed to that, and if you've noticed recently, a lot of these boycotts stand against this garbage. These movements are starting to really take hold. People are having the fortitude, the severity to stick by what they say they're going to do. So you have 5 million people potentially that won't go see this movie just on the sheer fact that it hurts them. Now, those have been people that were going to go see the movie anyway. Don't know, right? So to what end that will actually affect it. But I have to tell you, based on a whole lot of other factors, including, the simple fact that I'm just not a fan of hers,
God damn it!
I this movie anyway. This is one of the ones I was going to miss, right?
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I have no plans to see this movie.
Yeah, alright.
I'll watch reviews.
Really?
I'll listen to people talk about it. I'll read the script, but I'm not going to watch it.
Are you like fucking with me with that fucking thing? Fuck you. Come on.
Jason is going to become the highest paid.
Great. Yeah, fucking run me over with the little fucking thing.
He'll be the next Rock.
God damn it.
Yes.
What in the fuck?
Acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad.
Christ, dude.
No, I see what
Other
you're
way.
saying, Paul, and it has that potential considering how big the first
I'm
movie
not
is.
saying
I'm
it
not going to
will.
say
I'm just saying if the movie overcomes all the bad buzz and the naysayers, it's going to be because of Jason, and he's going to become huge.
That's fair.
Very huge, you dumbass.
It's going to be because lifted it on his shoulders and carried it to the finish line.
Yeah, he'd be the magic totem that no bad press can affect him. Therefore,
Correct.
he is the magic guy that can shepherd or lead a movie to success.
And I can see that, and that kind of answers that question.
Well, as long as he doesn't do anything stupid in regards to the stuff going on in Hawaii to like start to draw even more public ire in the negative way, then he'll be better off.
He's leaned into a few things, yeah, that quite
yeah, but as long as he doesn't go full Rock or Oprah, I would say he's probably better off.
But again, I'd like to get the female perspective on this. 6. Do you think
Yeah.
Amber Heard is going to be a problem?
I don't know. I don't know how much people are associating Amber Heard necessarily with this movie. People might know who Amber Heard is, but I just don't know if they're going to make the connection. She had such a small part in the trailer, and yes, her name's in the credits, but last year I was bullseyes on every movie as far as box office gross, but this year I can't hit the outside of the barn, especially after Barbie. I could not have been more wrong about Barbie. So I feel like I have no idea what.
Barbie,
How
did you
women
say
are gonna
Barbie
react
was
to things.
wrong?
You know, they might say, "Oh, Amber Heard she got the the shit end of the stick," and they might want to go out and support. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to see it though.
This is a
One of my favorite. One of my favorite DC characters.
Jason Momoa movie.
I'm kind of digging his brother.
Well, at the trial, what makes me...
Who cares about his
at
brother?
The trial, there was maybe 2 or 3 people that showed up in support for Amber throughout the entire 8-week trial. And the amount of people that were there in support of Johnny is just... You can't even compare. If those people won't come out for her trial that live in the area or the neighboring state, I don't know if they're going to go see her movie. They're going to virtue signal on X or whatever social media, but I don't know if they're actually going to go see it.
I also think that that this movie right here is going to swing heavily female in the audience. That is something that I think that is going to be a higher proportion of female viewers than what is normal for such superhero movies. Not because more women went to see it than otherwise would, but because more men are going to not see it because of Amber Heard.
No, that's not true, because I'll go see it. I don't care who's in it.
Then everyone knows that
Amber Heard or whatever you want. Fucking call her.
There's no point in seeing it. None of these characters are going to be
in anything else. So what? Who cares? You know what that is? A standalone movie. You dumb shit.
Jason Momoa
probably
has a future in DC movies. But as a Lobo, not as Aquaman. Because he needs to be.
Yeah, let's change him to Lobo. Great.
So just there, you have no reason to watch this movie. Then it also has the stigma of failure. And now all the DC movies
Lobo,
the years have been certified box office disasters.
Immortal.
Every last one of them. That's a stigma of failure. That's something that's going to be very hard to
just like him. Who's watching me?
The goodwill for superhero movies is gone. And that is something that we can...
Blah, 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 blah.
Because their quality back when they had. That is the rising tide that used to flow.
Yeah, the last one that I thought... The movie that brought it all together was...
in advance. How the obstacles
Endgame.
And
everything else was shit after that.
Because the obstacles against the movie are greater than for him to overcome. This movie doesn't even have any Michael Keaton in it.
Who cares?
Jason Momoa.
You don't need no Michael Keaton in it.
To draw women that come just for him, but they are not going to offset the male audiences that otherwise would have checked it out, but now won't.
Why not? I'll go check it out. I'm going to go see the movie, so fuck off.
Yeah, apologies for that. I took a call, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, look, if Jason Momoa was a draw to anyone, Fri Sept would be a success. I sort of revert back to that quite often. I get the first one. did really well, and it did. I can't see this doing very well. You've got to remember is that women will go out because they want to watch Jason Momoa, but women also, psychologically speaking, are the highest contingent socially to be bitchy. So having seen what Amber Heard did, her highest contingent of haters
present him to be.
Come on, man. Fuck no.
The Rock is very well known, but he has not had a blockbuster hit.
Yes, he has.
The only movies where
Yes, he has.
hits and box
The Rundown
is when he is a part of an ensemble cast.
No.
I'd say it's like Jumanji, exactly. It's the same kind of thing I'd say for Aquaman.
But he's the lead.
He wasn't even enough to help the last Fast X movie in the US. That really underperformed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Fast X. And Jason was in it, too. So both of them were in it.
She is more of a turnoff for women than men, in a lot of ways. And those women that I think were going to show up for this might not just because of her. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for men, the category of crazy-ass woman is not as attractive.
No.
Not really.
Darth, you brought up, though, that she does have her supporters, as we brought up earlier in the show as well.
Yeah. I even interviewed one of them. Yeah. I mean, they're just, they're not very vocal on what they're on. They don't seem like, I just would have thought that they would have showed up to
Thank you.
And they just didn't. And it was almost had to be. But, you know, I find it okay.
very little people do it. That's the point. I think that's there, right? I mean, but let's talk about the Snyder Bros.
What?
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry.
What?
But let's talk about the Snyder Bros, right? So obviously they also create quite a large contingent of people and managed to get the Snyder Cut made. But then you figure fall down to be a failure. So it's the same kind of thing, right? Talk is cheap.
No, it isn't.
Talk a big game that have a lot of work. But when it comes down to it, very little action. And action is the predominant factor that bears, that recruited flavour that very few people actually go out and do it. So I think, where are the fans? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. You've probably a bunch of bots on Twitter as well as, tiny percent of people.
Yeah. They're all bots.
Well,
they're all. Well, I have a few bots that continue, and their names are just Amber Heard, and they're different profile photos of Amber, and they just constantly spam my comment section. It's odd.
What's like, sad is that's the real Amber Heard. Just
yeah, that's
it's Amber's child.
What do you guys got against this woman?
Yeah, that's okay. So that's
Jesus Christ.
Like, oh my God,
man.
Kids were going off yesterday about her being a mom. What the hell is that all about?
Who cares?
Anybody know?
Oh, I can.
Which is a moniker of life.
It's kind of like a shoe.
Oh, wow. Whoa, that sucks.
There's plenty
Coming sneaking up behind me and shit. Fucker.
Mrs. Bates, anyone?
Hillary Clinton.
Anyone can get knocked up.
Yeah, anyone can get knocked up. Very well.
Yeah, exactly. So and also, here's like the thing. This is a woman who, after the trial, after the pictures of her and stuff like that, she has to escape to Spain, to the island of Mallorca. And what does she do there? On camera. Poops on the streets.
It does? God damn.
What? Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, for real. There's pictures of it.
What? What?
You are shitting me.
Unconfirmed. Like, it looked like her, and it was her friends around there, and I think somebody confirmed that, yes, it was her, at least for the page.
What's wrong with this woman defecating everywhere? She's a serious people problem.
Well, it's a problem, it sounds like to me.
You are absolutely joking me.
No, I don't.
You think, right, you would think, the world knows about it, and the turd.
What?
Shits on face. You would think unequivocally, what I am not going to do is shit in public.
You want to know what probably happened, Mr. H? Here's what happened that night. She's like,
"Fuck all these bitches, they keep calling me Amber Turd, I'm a fucking charm Amber
there, so this shit's in the street, and her friends are going, oh my
There's a surveillance camera over there capturing this whole thing. That's why we have picture proof, but it was indeed Amber.
Right? She fit right in.
She won't even get in
Of all
trouble either.
things. Of all things. You just wouldn't dare, would you? I know this Amber.
Like I said, that scenario is the only thing that makes sense to me, Nate. I'm like, why else would you do that?
What do you wipe with in the street?
She didn't even wipe. She just pulled him up and kept going.
Ew!
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's video of it. Like, it's not just pictures. It's actual, from like a street.
Why was this not headline news?
I promised my audience I'd never.
Because they couldn't confirm it was her, but like I said, a patron of the establishment.
Yeah,
Sorry.
We are not going to show the pictures to our audience because we would be taken down. But Mr. H, if you check the private chat right now, just so we get your live reaction here.
Oh, that's absolutely her.
Told you.
That's 100% her.
Yeah, you can tell. You can totally tell.
My friends are like, oh, you're having a shit in the street.
Oh my god,
Like I said, look at her friends.
That's
Like
her.
I said. Like I said, you look at her friends, that scenario is probably what happened. She was probably drunk as fuck, and she's like, I'm so sick of all these people calling me Amber fucking Turd, I'll fucking show them Amber Turd. Her friends look embarrassed. Look at them, they're like, oh my god, I can't believe she's fucking doing it.
That just means she has terrible friends, because when your friend poops in the street or pees in the street because you're drunk, you're supposed to stand around them and block the view. That's what girls do for each other. So shame on them.
Yeah, also, for just so everyone knows right now, put another picture of the private chat. This is her standing up afterwards, not wiping.
Yeah, that is her. That is 100% her.
Yep. You can.
You hadn't heard about this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look,
Really?
it's not actually on my agenda.
It happened like a long time ago. Like weeks and weeks ago.
Oh, that's Jane.
We'll have to actually find the story for you.
And wasn't there a picture of it the next day?
Oh, yes. There was
Close
a
up.
picture.
Yeah, there's a whole write-up on it. Yeah.
I mean,
If anyone is
like a Bigfoot photo, but
if anyone is curious, just Google Amber Heard pooping in the street.
Yeah, it comes up pretty.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want that in my search
She
history.
was in Spain, not Paris. That's what it was. Yeah.
I know.
'Cause she's living in Spain now. Yeah.
I'm glad she didn't do it on the Walk of Stars.
Yeah. Right. Well, she kind of already did.
Mr.
Did?
If you now check the private chat again, we can get a reaction here. That's the.
Oh, that's just blurted out anyway.
You know what?
Oh my
It's right up there.
God.
It's right up there with the guy who was copying at the Lord of the Rings party.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Backstage,
Oh,
right?
when they had those influencers coming in to talk Rings of Power, and they're standing there and they got the shot, and that one dude just walks up and literally pulls the old "I'm drunk and I'm pissing on the ground" thing against the wall.
I'm so.
Well, this dream has taken a turn.
It's gone down the toilet, isn't it?
Like Amber's turd.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna call her that. Her name is Amber Heard, so I don't have nothing against her.
And also, when she goes to the Spain and she walks down in the streets of Spain and she
Squats down and shits on the street. Yeah, we saw that like weeks ago. Long time ago. You guys are like late. So late.
Now, this is what we're discussing when we should be talking about Aquaman.
Let's see.
But how quickly did Aquaman 2 devolve to, okay, she's no longer the person that does stuff that she accused Johnny of doing. She's no longer the person who shat on the bed. She's also the one who shat in the streets of Spain.
What a just a rancid individual.
Let's keep moving on here. We're gonna jump to the Aquaman super chats, and then we'll work our way back around to the original ones as we move along here. So I apologize to those who sent in non-ones, but we're gonna try and keep them together here. Maverick Christian says the underwater realm of Aquaman 2 looks way better than that realm in Black Panther 2. It makes the latter look like garbage.
What? Black Panther was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Realm in Black Panther 2, like Atlantis, that looked like shit.
My God. You really don't know movies, you guys. These guys suck.
Ryan sends a 20.
Sometimes they don't. You say this movie is going to be good, this movie is going to be bad, and it was. It's only because I think
and it's still astonishing considering the time. Oh, brilliant!
it wanted it to be.
I will say this: I saw 2001: A Space Odyssey earlier this year, like a double
Who gives
bill
a shit?
of The Shining and 2001. And
Yippee!
Space Odyssey, like 20 minutes break in between. It is by far.
Yeah, we already heard this shit from you, man. You already told us that you saw those movies.
Many times. I love it. I love the adaptation of it. And yes, the book is an adaptation of the movie. They were developed together and cubic shots. Clark has for everyone who thinks that
finding it.
But anyway, I know this movie very, very well, and when I saw it on the big screen, I was absolutely floored.
Where's that one that goes on the water? Is this the one that goes on the water?
Yeah, it's because they did a great job on the 4K remaster of it. That's back before Warner Brothers went to shit.
Yeah, I didn't even tell that the beginning was actually all on a soundstage. It's all practical effects in the giant green screen, and it looked like with the monolith. That scene, that's all those rocks are all
water landing.
Yes. What? It just looks so real. And that's I think the beauty of practical.
Well, what's funny is if you show somebody some of the special effects for that movie, it'd be like, this is 1968. This is almost 10 years before Star Wars. And people are still like, what?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy. Then we've got, let's see here. Find the Aquaman one. Sorry about that. ActionCom says, will Momoa pay for Ember's sins? Well, that was the question of the day, ActionCom, and that's what I presented to everybody. So we kind of
not if James Gunn rescues him and brings him back as Lobo.
Someone was joking that should be the after credit scene. Is
yesterday
Momoa meets up with Lobo from an alternate universe. It's like, That's how it is. Just him looking at himself. That's all we need to know. But what's funny about that, we didn't bring this part up. James Wan was out in the press talking about all this, trying to detract from all the reshoots.
But he said there was reshoots. So what are you talking about? You already said that shit yesterday.
Yeah, we did. I mean, he went around the houses by saying, well, you know...
You're saying the same garbage you said yesterday.
Actually, you know, it's a normal shoot time. But those pickups that we did are very normal. So you did do pickups then.
And then he confirmed the Batman stuff, and he's like, none of that's in the movie now anyway. Our thing isn't attached to anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a standalone.
You said that yesterday.
So it's been reshot on it, isn't it, mate?
It's been reshot, and you have
Is this a live show?
Like, I get it.
It doesn't really look like it. Is it live?
Straight up questions, but...
Well, and he has to probably dance around a lot of it, because I don't even know what his NDA covers in that sense. So, like, yeah, it's hard to say what he's been told not to say, and... Yeah. Pilgrim Media says Ms. Hurt may be legitimately mentally ill. Oh, I think we can establish that during the trial.
Sitting in the street.
Probably.
Confirmed, yes.
Yeah, and that was brought up on the stand, and nobody's making fun of anybody's mental illness, but she is 100%, none of her diagnoses would prevent her from being 100% responsible for her actions.
Yes,
No,
that's true.
That's exactly right. But she's not, because those personality orders that she was diagnosed with, like histrionic personality disorder and what was the name of the other one? Borderline
bipolar disorder, and a few other things.
That was those two, not
Who cares?
borderline.
Jesus.
Personality disorder?
Yeah. Basically, like, she's not nuts. She is basically what that is the diagnosis.
She is nuts.
Of an evil person.
I wouldn't say that so much as she's got emotional disorders that do not give her excuses for actions. I think
no, not in the slightest. She knows.
So why do people like Musk and
with a taste of narcissism? Don't forget that. That's the other thing. That's the deadly poison.
So why does she attract Musk and what's his name?
Oh, and she's good at suckering people at first. She's very good.
Exactly. She's a manipulator because these borderlines, they are perfect manipulators.
Yeah, she knows how to manipulate people into liking her.
Yeah.
Like, listen to her. Like, that was how most of us, and Darth knows what I'm talking about here, especially. Yeah. Because, like, you listen to those audio tapes and stuff that came out before the trial that we all listened to that the public hadn't heard yet, that they finally did get to hear in the trial, and that's why people started turning on her, because you could hear it. You could hear the way she would try to manipulate Johnny and the way she would just try to manipulate situations and everything, for that matter. And no matter what it was, she was always the innocent person in the situation. Even when she sits there and goes, yes, I fucking hit you, Johnny. I did not punch you. She's even trying to diminish, to what's the word I'm looking for?
Diminish?
Diminish the impact of what she has done to him to try and make herself even look like a victim after she physically assaulted him.
But it's also very active, right? That personality disorder. Everything was a display, everything was a front. It's like there's so many layers of this character before you can't scratch the surface to get to who she truly is as a person. Because who she truly is these many layers of this kind of individual. Everything seemed like a performance. It was all performative.
Yeah, guys hate this woman.
There's one person,
Why
I
are
can't remember who it was,
talking about her so much?
Johnny, that kind of painted great light as far as this whole thing goes. And he said, basically, he said here, fun fact, crazy women are good and bad. Can't remember who said it, but he said, Johnny liked to play with fire. It's no wonder he got burned. I can't remember who said that quote, but it was directly about him and Amber. Right, like people tried to warn him about it from the start, I guess, is basically what this individual was trying to say. But culture has to leave us right now. So before we get into this, Andre, unless you want culture
culture has to leave, but Dark King had this message for everyone, including for culture. Assume Comcast nails Disney for $20+ billion for Hulu by September 30th. If Disney cannot cough up the money, what happens next? Chapter 11, fake sales. Just want to know what happens afterwards. Culture. You're the perfect man for this. What happens if they cannot take?
They can. They'll do what they will have to do. Some form of stock raid and treasury or stock trade. They love stock treasury raid. They'll dive into their piggy bank. They'll get money from somebody else. They'll do as much as they can. The problem is if they were to hand over, and Diane Rediate's on record saying the same thing, if they were to hand over, as much stock as it would take to write that off, that's a considerable portion of your company that you would be handing over to your enemy, who is really playing an enemy game right now. And Comcast isn't done. It's just, one of the things that Disney ties into. Now, Comcast is the largest cable distributor of all of the Disney products in the United States. Number 2 was Charter. You saw how that went. You can imagine that Comcast is going to hit them, bang them even harder for even more. And there's a decent chance that Disney, loses more ground when it comes to distribution on the linear side. And you can think what you will about the fact that everybody's cutting the cord, but that's going to be even a harder hit. But will Disney go bankrupt or have a bake sale? I love that idea, but no. They're just going to go and borrow money in whatever form or fashion they can. It's likely going to be a considerable portion of stock, but that could make Comcast Universal the largest stockholder, individual or institutional, I guess, or corporate stockholder of Disney. That isn't like anybody else. It's going to be weird. But no, this deal is going to go through. This absolutely will happen. They're going to make the target they're aiming for, but it will happen, and they're trying to make all of the bad news that they have, which is a lot, happen before the end of this quarter, so that when they go in to report it, in a couple of months, there'll be less there in November. Because when they roll into the following quarter's annual stockholder meeting, they're going to be a big. You're going to have everybody and their mom ready to ask Bob questions, and it ain't going to be happy. But no, I think Disney will pull the trigger on this, and we'll be worse off for it. And all these streaming services are going to become way more expensive than they are now. That's all.
I'm predicting Lauren Jobs is going to buy Disney.
Well, there was another offer too. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Thank you so much for being here this morning on Culture. Take care of yourself. Check out Culture Casino. So yeah, Byron Allen also put in a $10 billion bid for ABC. So that looks about to be where they're at for that. Because they denied that yesterday, but the trades were picking up on it and it helped bump their stock. That's basically what they're going to have to do to make this $20 billion. This is kind of the rumor going around, is that they're scrambling right now to try and figure out what the fuck they're going to do to pay this. So yeah, I'm curious what y'all think about this, because that's the latest rumor, is they're looking at selling ABC for around $10 billion is the recent offer anyway.
Well, they said about breaking up their companies anyway. So I can believe that they're going to do it. They've already started to make moves on that. They've suggested it a few times. So I wouldn't say so. I mean, obviously, the price value in the selling of that particular asset is a rumour, but it's not a rumour that they want to sell aspects of the business.
Yeah, I mean, even if they want to, even if there's a possibility for Disney to go up for sale at some point, they're going to have to divulge
wait a minute.
A lot of this stuff. Anyways, another thing I would point out.
You're dead.
Yeah, because almost
hello.
They're divest. Sorry, thank you.
You're
they don't,
dead.
They're going to have nothing but problems on the other end if wants to buy them. So the more they get rid of them, the more likely it is a bigger entity can suck them up. That's where they're at right now, because the rumors going around, and I'm starting to believe it, is that Warner and Disney are up for sale. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think about that. Andre, any thoughts on that, or Darth, or anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Disney in the hands of someone else personally, but I don't really have any deep opinions on it.
Well, the problem with that is that you're going to see them in the hands of Apple, and that's
this is Apple. Oh, Apple's. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't hear that part.
But they fixed the cord, Andre. They're with it now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say Lauren Jobs has the cash to do it.
Well, then, I don't know. I think it's just all...
Steve's right.
And that's where I think ABC...
we're losing Mr. H here. So,
okay.
Great. Any thoughts on this real quick before you have to go out?
On the 20 billion movie thing.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't they raise the debt before? I wonder if they can do that again. Or, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing's a massive S show. Disney is a massive S show. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about how it's going downhill. I mean, this is the sort of icing on the cake, or the foundations of the company crumbling at this point. Like, it's not. These things are not good, and there's many sort of layers to that. You've had, what was it, the Land News report? I can't remember who did it, but all the things between the two Bobs. There's multiple sort of vultures circling with respect to Disney. But this particularly, I mean, it's not good. Like, this whole Hulu situation is not good. So, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know they've raised debt before. I guess maybe they try and do the same kind of thing, or
I don't even use
devalue their own business.
We don't get it up here.
Yeah, I'd see
no, we don't
get
it. We don't get it. But.
It's basically a wash for Disney. They don't need it, right? And they're not going to utilize it in any way that's going to help them out. If worse, this is my guess right now what's going to happen. I wish Culture was here to either argue with me or agree with me on this one, but my guess is since they weren't able to find a partner quickly for ESPN, because I think that's where they were trying to get an influx of cash quick from Amazon, they'll probably just turn Hulu into ESPN streaming, is what will end up happening. Or they'll turn it into their equivalent of what is it called, Star or whatever, everywhere else where they have the adult stuff and all that kind of stuff. They'll just switch it over to that. They're not going to keep it as Hulu, I bet, which is still dumb because they don't know how to do smart business.
I don't think companies should keep changing their names. It's kind of been happening a lot.
This is the company that spent $70 billion for 20th Century Fox and dropped the Fox name because they felt it was problematic because it was, in their words, because of the whole Fox News thing. It's like, are you dumb shits or what? When we talk about 20th Century Fox, nobody says 20th Century Fox. They all say Fox because Fox has been associated with films for 100+ fucking years.
Yeah.
Okay? When people hear that dun 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 dun, they think of that. They don't think about Fox News. They barely even think about Fox Network.
Of course, Hollywood makes everything political. They can't help themselves.
Yeah. But we were losing Mr. Ray.
Sorry, yes.
Straight text. Sorry.
For being here today.
No, thank you for inviting me. I've always drop in when I can. So yeah, I appreciate it. I'd love to get you on, Darcy's on
I'd love to. Seriously, man. I really enjoy talking to you.
Slide into the DM.
No problem. I will. I'll do that.
My favorite podcast.
Oh, good. Yeah, right. Thank you so much, guys.
Take care, Mr. H. Cheers.
Bye, Mr. H.
All right. Was there another topic you wanted to jump into, Andre?
We do have a couple more that we're relating to.
Oh, sure. Let's do it. Jimmy Bear's here, and he says, well, this is becoming a shit show. Yes, indeed it has. we got this one already. But thank you again,
How do you know that is not a Hershey's drop?
Depends on who you ask. They try to argue that that's what it was supposed to be with chocolate pudding or whatever.
If it wasn't blurred out, I could give you a better guess. The photo's blurred out.
I'm just saying that emoji was way more like a Hershey's kiss.
Oh, you were talking about the emoji.
The
emoji. No, I'm talking about the emoji.
I thought we were talking about Amber Heard.
Yeah. If I send it as a super sticker to Tom, it's a turd.
It's a pooper sticker then. Super pooper. But thank you again, Pilgrim Media. Yes, fun fact, crazy women are good.
Seriously.
And I was corrected in the chat by Mecca J. That was Elon they were talking about. That's right. Thank you for correcting me, Mecca J. As well. Who said the whole play with fire bit. That was. Let's see here. We got Lady Ribbon who says, or did we have any more on Amber Turner?
That was it for him.
Okay.
We can move on.
Blade Ribbon says Bill Willingham put Fables into public domain just to cheese over DC because DC keeps trying to cheese him over.
I saw that headline today.
Now, is this tied in with the whole Alan Moore news? Because if it is, we can just jump right into that.
Yeah, that sounds like that, because so basically Bill Willingham evidently is not too big a fan of DC Comics, it would appear, but neither is Watchmen creator Alan Moore, who has of course been very critical of DC for many different things over many different years, beginning with Watchmen, which is something that he wrote for them as a work for hire, meaning that Warner has all of the rights. But apparently, and this is something that I learned from Ethan McIver, because he did a video on this, so kudos to him. Apparently there was a handshake deal between Alan Moore and at the time, saying that, yeah, okay, we're not going to merchandise this in any kind of way because that's a big deal for you. But apparently later on there's like one executive that decided, you know what, screw that, we're going to do our watch. And they did. And that watch was a very, very big insult to Mr. Moore, who vowed never to work for DC ever again. And then many years later, someone else decided, you know what, that dude, he's not coming back. Let's just monetize this stuff anyway. There's no reason to deny ourselves profit for someone who ain't coming back no matter what. And since then, he's just been bitter. He's refused to watch any movies that's based on his work. And now, most recently, he has suggested that DC donate their proceeds from his work to BLM of all causes. And he's also taken to attacking fellow creators. In this case, Frank Miller, whose work on Batman he claims to be sub-fascist and a little bit too of a nation.
But it wasn't all bad. He did shit on the guys who remade Watchmen, the series.
Oh, well, I guess even a broken focus one day.
Yeah, he said it was a bit too Birth of the Nation. Or was that the Dark Knight thing he said? Oh, either way.
The Dark Knight stuff.
Yeah, but he also was bitching about what they did to Watchmen, too. Because somebody sent him some shit. Someone's from the show sent him some shit, and he sent off a letter to Warner Brothers. He goes, I told you guys under no circumstances was anybody supposed to contact me, period.
Yeah, this seems to me more a grace of...
and then he went to bitch about the show from what he heard about it or something
like that. Alan Moore always having been a little bit... What's the appropriate term? A little bit special. And he appears to have only gotten more special throughout the years. But Mr. Chato, you, of course, you've dealt with creatives. It's common thing among creatives to go off on rants against both the company and fellow creators like this. Is this something you have much experience with?
Well, insofar as creators are concerned, the one thing I've learned as a member of management is don't give them too much. Don't give them the amount of power they want. Although that has a double-edged sword. I mean, you take a look at Oda and his whatever contribution he made to One Piece. Apparently, it was good. I don't have a lot of time for creatives that want to go outside of their lane, and that's a strange thing to say. But I mean, if you're a cartoonist, you're a cartoonist. If you're a comic book writer, and you're kind of a comic book writer, that's what I have found over the years. I mean, I'm a sketch comedian. I write sketches. It's hard to get out of that lane. And you know, Alan Moore talking about sub-fascist. The first thing I thought was, okay, is this about U-boats? And you know, again, I think he's just getting more and more demented with age. He hates everything, but this is not unusual for him. This is the part of this modus operandi. Hell, Heinlein, his books are very militaristic, but you can choose to read them or not. I don't know why he needs to go on a rant about other people's stuff.
What is sub-fascist? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is. That's what I'm saying. Is it a U-boat?
Yeah.
I don't think that he knows what it is either, because so many use the term fascist when what they really mean is authoritarian. They use it without context, because fascism was actually very specifically a ruling form in Italy, which has echoes to many places today, where basically you have the authorities using private enterprise to enforce their power. Like, for instance, if you have the leader of state telling private corporations that, you know what, you can enforce this legislation better than I can, so you are going to enforce it on our behalf. That would be an example of Italian fascism in the true literal sense. Now, I do not think that that is quite what Alan Moore is meaning here. So when
he's not
fascist, I can only assume that Alan Moore is no longer aware of what fascist actually means. That he just like so many British punks of the 70s and stuff like that, uses the term as a replacement for general authoritarian without knowing what it actually means. That's what he's trying to say. That is like a little bit authoritarian inclined, I think would be what he would mean, just looking from the context. But then he's using the term wrong, like most people using the term fascist.
I think he's switching around with like a subcontractor. Like it just doesn't, I don't think it applies.
He's always been on beaten track, which is one of the reasons why he was adorable. But one of the things that you learn when you deal with an aging person is the thing that you like least about him gets worse as they get older.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because as you get older, you just stop giving a fuck about them?
Yeah, you don't give a fuck about anything.
It's kind of
yes, it's more part of your core personality that you initially admit, and number two, the people around you put up with. And that just gets worse.
But it becomes a more extreme version of himself.
Well, yes, it was about that. That's what gets worse. We're seeing with poor Alan here.
Probably. I think you're onto something now.
Yeah. This was always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it got channeled into some pretty fantastic comic material.
It did indeed. But
let's Alan, we love you for the stuff that you've done.
Some of the stuff is really kind of bad.
Well, you're more well-read than me.
Well, when it comes to Alan Moore stuff, maybe, yeah. But listen, Alan Moore, he wrote a big anthology, or not so much anthology, a big story on fascism and V for Vendetta, where the government has hired the finger to enforce all their rules and laws. He then wrote a handful of interesting shorts, floppies of Superman, Batman, and just very well noted and regarded for Watchmen, but I think the best stuff he's done was probably his Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing? Really?
But he's always been a man who's very much off his rocker. He's anti-everything except himself.
Wow.
And if you read about his writing process, not that it's a moves you to the respect that you have for it, and not that somebody has to be wonderfully organized or started to write, but he really didn't know what he was doing with the Watchmen. So is that genius or just good improvising? So I have a problem with giving somebody that much credit when they're kind of figuring stuff out and they're going and just feeling their way.
Oh, so what?
From someone who plans out a work of genius.
Taxes must be a mess.
Because
Why?
Warner Brothers has got to be sitting on a small fortune, if not a large fortune, of what they owe him that he's never accepted. And now he's telling him to send it straight to BLM. Well, unless he does his taxes and gets receipts, how the fuck does he know they're even bothering? But like just going back 30 years, he must be owed millions of dollars from just all this shit that he's refused to take.
Yeah, BLM already has, in the state at least, is a bankrupt organization that is anti-Semitic. And NAACP has severed their relationship with him.
Right.
So he's obviously not reading any news publications.
And no community with the money they raised ever saw that money. Yep. It went all to the giant scam.
Giant scam.
Which is a good lesson to check every single charity or whatever it is you're trying to donate to or what tries to appear to be helping other people. It always pays to kind of check into that because you'd be surprised how little actually goes in most cases to actually the actual, cause. But in this case, I'm not surprised at all. I wasn't surprised at all when everybody knew.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
BLM basically is an amulet for companies who want to hide their gross activities.
And basically you buy virtue. Like you pay money and you do a virtue thing.
You got it.
And but of course it doesn't do anything for the cause you're trying. You're supposedly fixing nothing at all.
It's exactly what they're for.
It's like when Disney throws in a quick little same-sex kiss scene just to be like, oh, we picked a side, It's a virtue signal. It means nothing.
God damn it! Show me the turkey baster.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got hexed over,
By the way, speaking of Amber Heard, I'm at a friend's college, and this is a tiki bar. Look what I found. This unusual.
You're gonna get us blocked on fucking YouTube, man.
That is a deal.
What the fuck?
That is
a bottle opener.
A bottle opener in my ass. That'll put something on
Well,
it.
you can do it with your ass too.
You could.
You open enough bottles, so you can stick that wherever you want.
That's what I was thinking. Holy shit.
You stick it in your ass, and then you open it.
Might get a splinter.
Yeah, we made it out of bourbon.
Oh my God, the car.
You can cut my part out.
I guess. Jeez, let's keep moving along here past Alan Moore unless anybody else has anything to say about it. Doug 1985 says, I want a live-action Akira film with Tom as Tetsuo? Come on, say that. Script doctor is Kaneda, and Andre has to be the current. There you go. I haven't seen Akira in a long time. We do have it on 4K, though. Should watch
Isn't that
it.
anime?
Waste some money.
And Tom is well on his way to being.
But it's a movie.
Weeb.
And I actually saw that years before. And that's why I bought it. Oh, I'm far from becoming a weeb.
Oh, that's what we all say. I'm doing Midnight Search anime.
A weeb.
Doesn't mean I will be there.
Midnight Search Weebo or something.
What? Weebers. Tripping Orc has become a member. Thank you so much. Chloe says, seeing as The Force Awakens came out at the height of MoviePass, how much of that was true profit, seeing as MoviePass turned out to be a Ponzi scheme?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question.
What the hell? Who is shooting at
Arthur, about to say?
No, I was saying I actually used to use MoviePass all the time. I would
when
pay the
when it first came out, or what?
every month was like $1.
I tried. I couldn't get the damn thing to work, so I canceled it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, well, where I lived in California, that was like where they kind of launched it, for those specific theater
It's still
areas.
technically around as far as I know, ain't it?
Is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
came back.
Man, I thought they went bankrupt.
I
No.
think somebody else bought it, and they still have a similar kind of idea, but it's not as wonky as it used to be, I guess.
I know I
But
saw
anyway.
Chris Gore talk about something.
Well, see, AMC has their own thing, and that's what he does. And I think even some of the other theaters already have their own version too.
I mean, I would probably look into it if I actually wanted to go see half these movies that are even in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for it's not worth it.
It takes a lot.
Not really
to,
worth it.
Nowadays, which I mean, it's sad to say that it shouldn't take a lot to get someone to go see a movie in a theater, but I have just not been intrigued by too many films, especially this year.
My favorite movie of the year, my two favorite movies of the year so far have been streaming films.
Oh yeah, which ones?
Tetris and Air.
Oh, I love Tetris, and then I watched Air based on your recommendation on
and it was awesome.
the other stream. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I didn't know that story. I didn't know that story about Michael. I actually liked how they didn't show Michael. Like, they always had him in the background or turning his face.
Yeah.
I liked that because it wasn't.
That was
about
actually
him,
pretty good.
About the shoe.
And
the people that made it into what it became. Well, I guess really, Michael Jordan made it what it was. It was a great
Matt Damon's character.
Oh yeah, the Matt Damon's speech at the very end at that table. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Good
I think that's one of the things that actually happened too.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I read about it after the movie. Whenever I see a movie based on a true story or about true events, I always look into the actual after I watch it just to see what was.
Well, they did a good job making his mom look like a very smart businesswoman, and not just that, but knowing what's best for her son and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the parents did a really good job.
But anyway, that's a good point, though, Chloe. I don't know if that affected the box office at all, but now that we're learning how much those movies really cost, because Forbes had put out, what was it, roughly a month ago, that The Force Awakens cost over $500. That's not even counting advertising.
Jesus.
And then recently, I think it was just yesterday or the day before, Valiant Renegade came out with
Why did it fucking
on the other
cost
films
that much?
as well, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Damn. Well, they did build the Millennium Falcon.
Area. The only one I think that I remember offhand, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think The Last Jedi was the cheapest of the bunch. And that's just because they didn't have any reshoots, went right into shooting it after The Force Awakens. So I'm assuming they just amortized a lot of the costs from The Force Awakens into The Last Jedi. But then you got to remember, the rest of the films all got reshot over and over and over again, all the way from Rogue One through Solo and Rise of Palpatine. In fact, they're still shooting the Rise of Palpatine right now in the deserts, the blue screen.
Are they really?
Probably.
Sure have been had.
So yeah, I'm sure this helped a little bit, but at the same time, the way that system worked, I know we did a video on it way back when too. And I remember doing a lot of research on it. And that's when I kind of realized that this is not a sustainable system. There's no way they can, because if they're paying out to the studios the full amount of the ticket, then if somebody goes to more than, say, 2 movies a month, the company's out money. I don't care how many subscribers you have, unless you've got over half of your subscribers not going to more than 1 movie a month or no movies a month, and still hanging on to the subscription. It just doesn't work.
Yep.
And that's why they were fighting to get deals with the theaters and stuff, and the theaters were like, why should we do a deal with you when we can just do our own deal?
Yeah, and that's what they started doing.
Yep.
Exactly. And the AMC... You'd be surprised, a lot of people do that. In fact, I'm notorious for that, especially with subscriptions. Like, in fact, up until recently, I think Hulu, I canceled this last month here, and a few others that I had for the longest time just because I was grandfathered in on a price. But at this point, I realized, like, I have not watched Hulu in months. I don't
thought
care.
you would never get rid of Hulu.
I did, it's gone, and the only things I'm down to is I get Disney Plus for free still for my kid, because he has Verizon. I have HBO Max, which I'm really thinking about just canceling for a while, because I use that, but not as much, and then just hang it on to Netflix, and I get Amazon Prime just because Amazon Prime. And even like Apple and some of those other ones I'm thinking of dumping, but there's something on Apple, I can't even remember what it was that much. I'm getting down there, I'm slowly carving them out of my life, because I don't need them.
You can write them off. These are tax deductions for us.
Yeah, Mikey does, I'm sure. I mean, he's the one that handles all that stuff. But, I don't understand numbers. That's
that could be a tax write-off?
Yeah.
Pardon me, what?
If you're taking content, reviewing stuff that's exclusively on those services, yes, you can write that off as.
I wish he'd quit going around telling people I got fucking $2 million worth of movies, though. It's not even remotely fucking true.
So if you're making money, let's say shekels here on YouTube, Darth, that's everything that is in relation to what you do here can be written off.
Indeed, every collectible you buy, every movie ticket, everything that you need for the YouTube channel.
Yeah, technically your trip. Right. Yeah, technically your trip to the Amber Heard trial could have been written off.
True. Yeah. Well, I still have my receipts. So.
That's right. Hey, you come back. We'll hook you up with if he wasn't so busy today doing taxes as it was, we'd hook you up with the greatest tax man of all time, the Mexican iron tax man.
What if I'm making money for other people's channels?
Well,
what's a donation?
It depends on whether you're an employee.
If we give you a receipt, you can write it off on your taxes.
No.
Oh, that's right, because we're not a charity. That's right.
No, that's.
Although Andre might argue it feels like a charity sometimes.
You need your own Channel 6 and make just tons of money off of YouTube. We all
get right on it.
Channel
in
6.
My spare time.
April 06. We got Pinochet's helicopter tours in the houses. Every time an actor or writer starts yapping and complaining, all I hear is John Hurt screaming, I want everybody to remember they need us. Well, and that's what I love about Script Doctor. He understands that you're only worth what you make yourself worth, right? And he was the first person, and I was so happy to see that. And click like and share his tweet that one day we were talking about earlier when Mr. H was asking him that question about this. Do the people in Hollywood really realize that we don't give a fuck? Like, we really just hear kind of like, and we don't care. Like,
they only pay attention to like the Twitterverse X. They don't even know we exist. Or they know we exist, but they think that we're inconsequential. But
well, the ones that aren't helping the industry are the ones that are basically stuck on social media,
making the most noise too. On top of it all,
exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to the guy who is rumored to want to buy ABC because I don't know what he thinks he's going to be able to do with it.
You don't remember Byron Allen? He had his own TV show for a while.
He's head of Entertainment Inc. or Entertainment Productions.
Hey, that was like 45
minutes. A lot of his history is very similar to what Bob Iger was doing. He buys up other smaller companies to make himself bigger. Him buying ABC is not. It could be good. I don't know. He likes to make low budget stuff, so that's a boon to his prowess as a one-time comedian turned entertainment mogul. But I don't know. I don't see. He must see something in ABC the rest of the world doesn't.
Well, Disney certainly hasn't used it. They have not created any kind of synergies between them.
No. And I think that's where he's seeing the value in it plausibly, is that this is still one of the biggest networks.
Yeah.
And most people won't notice the change or difference. See, and that's kind of going off of, like, I disagreed a little bit earlier. I didn't get to pipe in then with the whole thing Andre was saying about most people know that this DC universe is dead. No, most people in the general public, as far as I know, see it as they still have the same characters. It's the same old shit that we had 10 years ago. It's the same thing here. They could sell ABC tomorrow, and unless they change things so astronomically that people actually notice change, no one will notice a change. It's kind of the same thing with the strikes. Nobody's even noticing there's a change. Why? They weren't watching most of these shows that were affected by it anyway. Well, at least in the media. The general audience does not pay attention to the shit we do, and they do not care because they've got so much other shit in their life to worry about than this kind of crap, right? Like, and I am well aware of that. And I think that as soon as the actors and the writers and the studios all learn that, then maybe they'll start changing their ways and start working together. But until that happens, I can see this just continuing on through the winter.
It could. It comes down to the fact is who controls what gets made.
That too.
The people paying for it. And if people haven't been watching television or streaming shows in the abundance that is expected, you have to point the finger at the people that are making those decisions. And guess what? As much as we would love it to be the writers and actors, it's not. It's
you're right.
At the top. And don't get me wrong. There's plenty of writers and actors that are not helping their case. Like they are very antithetical to what should be happening. But
going back to sorry, just finished. My bad.
Well, it comes back to this: is that if, say, he does buy ABC, if we see more budget-conscious television, if we see stuff that is not in support of the traditional Disney brand, people are going to notice, and it actually might generate more interest back into ABC.
That's true. See, if anything, I agree with you there more. Like, more people are notice of how bad Disney has gotten lately, or there's things about them that they don't like, for whatever various reasons, whether it's to the politics side of things, or it's just gotten to the point where they're just like, yeah, no, they're just not what they used to be, and I'm not seeing all these remakes, or whatever it is, just in general, consensus.
To the point of the restaurant analogy, which is used quite often, it's if a waiter is giving you bad service, not only do you accost the waiter, you also go to the management and be like, why did you hire this person? Where are the people going to the studio saying, why did you hire these people?
Well, yeah, well, we kind of are in this at this point. See, that's the thing, is we've been saying for years now, and what I was going to say is this, when I didn't mean to interrupt you there, was, this is the difference between now and like the 2007 strike, which we talked a little bit about earlier. Most of the public is kind of more on the side of the writers at that point. Because we all know that it's easy for us to get behind the idea that a corporation like a studio is a bad thing. Right? We can understand that. That's easier for us to get behind, and we support those who are actually doing the footwork, and we know that they're the ones who are actually making the things that are making the studios money. But at this point, this is where a lot of people are just going, I don't give a shit for both parties at this point. Both, like you just said, the studios are the ones who put them in this mess in the first place, and the rest of them, well, we don't care about any of them because we're not missing them right now. Because most of the stuff that people watch anymore is majority older stuff, and it's become more of
model stuff. Yeah,
it's become more of a surprise if they actually have something new like One Piece that actually is a hit, right? Like that's a surprise as opposed to the other, where when people are like, "Oh, Suits is suddenly a hit," all of a sudden, no, I'm not surprised because, like you just said, it's like classic television. People want that. They want the older kind of stuff, not in the sense they want to be like live in the past, and that's not what I'm saying. But they want the older models. They want the comfort food. Shit, sometimes in the morning when I get up early before the show, when I actually happen to do that, I'll throw on the CBS Morning News just to have it on the background and the noise, just to have it, because it's like that old, just the nostalgic feeling of the house waking up. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have the news going on in the background, breakfast is cooking, and whatever's going on for the morning to get started. That, I think people are missing that. You don't get that with streaming. That kind of,
Well, what streaming has kind of turned films and movies into content, especially with Marvel. I just feel like
100%.
It's literally, even Bob Iger called it content, and I'm like, dude, you should be making movies. This isn't YouTube. Like you're making art, and you should treat it as such. But they treat it as content, and they just push out as much content as they can, and it's just, God, it's just.
Well, there's a lot of directors and filmmakers and creators who are saying the same damn thing.
But every Marvel movie, change directors every movie, and it's always the same looking movie. It's like, it's because they have no real creative control.
Exactly, that's one of Disney's biggest flaws, and I have actually started doing an aggregate across the streaming services, and guess what? Disney is the only one that has inconsistent runtimes for all their television shows. Max usually, if they're doing a half hour, it's closest to a half hour as possible for every episode. If it's an hour, it's closest to an hour every episode. Same thing with Paramount Plus, same thing with Hulu. Netflix is a little bit more flexible, but it's trying to take closer. Disney is the only one that actually produces a series where one episode is 22 minutes and another episode is 48.
Jesus.
Yes, I noticed that.
52, I think the last one was 52, but that included all the credits and the
speaks to it speaks to the whole point that the other guys are at least thinking ahead to where, when it comes to Paramount and Warner, they're like, well, maybe we'll want to play this on regular TV, so we have to structure it that way. Disney is doing the opposite. And that's the rumor going around right now, or the saying that's going around, is they tried to kill cable television and almost tried to kill network television, and now they got bit by it, and that's probably why they're just going to turn around and sell ABC. But we need to move on with these super chats here. Beck116 says, don't know if you've seen HBO Discovery. CFO complains there are too many freeloaders for their product, wants to increase prices to stop churn. On that very note,
oh yeah, that'll do wonders.
I don't think so.
That'll do the opposite, yeah.
Until they start producing, shows and movies that we want to see, like that are worth paying a higher price for. People are going to leave their services, in my opinion.
I mean, Game of Thrones is Thing of the Dragon is not enough.
Yeah, House of Dragon. Yeah.
And that's technically not even a streaming-only show. That's from HBO initially. That's where I was saying they know how to synergize this stuff, and not to drag the whole thing up, but this kind of puts a cap on what we were just saying, and this super chat right here. This is what the fundamental problem and the streaming wars and all the studios did not understand when they got into this. They we wanted Netflix. Why don't we just do our own thing? We've said that a million times. But they didn't realize what made shows famous and stuff like that why Netflix was able to have a show like Stranger Things be a huge hit like it was by the time they decided, oh, we need to start doing our own stuff, they had already set themselves up as the only ones in the industry because they were getting all the Disney movies, all the Fox movies, all the Warner movies, all the Sony movies. They had everybody's fucking movies on Netflix. So everybody already had them, so when Stranger Things popped up on there, they had the audience to broadcast it too. You keep losing your fucking audience. You can put the greatest fucking show of all time, the most expensive, brilliant fucking show I've ever made, and nobody's going to be there to see it because they're not going to watch this shit because they're not paying $20 fucking a month for one streaming service.
Yeah. And it's not just one. I mean, think about how many people actually have 3, 4. They pay for maybe 5 streaming services, and that they're paying more than they were for their cable.
Well, no,
it's a better idea.
It's the next generation.
A better idea. I think they should have a streaming service for just one show. And you gotta buy 100 streaming services.
Oh my god.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
Well, that's the late '90s cable packages. Really, it's like you get one channel for one area of show. I remember for Bell, they had one channel. It's all Toronto Maple Leafs, old games and new games, 24/7. That's all it was. It's like that, and it's like $7.99 a month. It's crazy.
But those are still multiple shows. I'm just talking about one episode of the show.
What?
That's all I'm saying.
What?
You want to see the second episode of Game of Thrones? You have to get to the second episode of Game of Thrones channel.
Yeah, it's like a drug. First one's for free.
Yeah, that's right.
Want some more?
I got all of them except for Apple Plus because there's nothing on Apple Plus that I want to watch. But I think 2 of them is my sister's accounts. We share, and I get the lowest tier. I don't mind commercials. So, and I just like the convenience. When I want to watch something, I want to be able to a few clicks and watch it.
Yeah.
Crave I can only watch on my computer. Although I found out I can Chromecast. Don't call Crave.
Who cares?
Jason
What's
Webster
Crave?
says recommend Korean films Unlocked and the next Sohee. Now I don't know about the next Sohee, but I was just hearing about Unlocked. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it at all.
No.
No.
And I believe Unlocked is on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. We got Jonas in the house. How you doing, Jonas? Says, great panel. Midnight's Edge is the gold standard in live streaming. Andre, where should I start with? Oh, I meant to save this one for last. Shit. Yes. Where should he start with Conan Comics? Hang around, Jonas. We'll get back to that one. But we have Alec Devlin, who's been gifted a membership by Jesus Davila. Thank you so much. Lenny Dragon, and who else? A few more. I know Jesus had gifted a few memberships. Thank you for that, Jesus. And those who received them, I'm sure, are appreciative of them. John Stallcap says, Sound of Freedom broke the $210 million thanks to Latin Armor.
Wow.
Latin America market. Yes, this is true. In fact, it's doing very well. They still haven't got a set date for home video yet, although we've been hearing rumors.
It has been released in the UK.
I don't even think it still hasn't got a video on it.
So when I went to go see Sound of Freedom, I saw it opening day, and I heard it was produced, and I was like, oh, it's about child sex trafficking. Maybe this is an important movie to see. So I went and saw it with my girlfriend, and after the first 15 minutes, the lights turned on all the way. It made the screen look kind of white, you couldn't. It was hard to see the screen. That's how bright it was, and we were like, what the hell? We thought they were going to turn off. And then we kept looking up, and and I saw this dude who, when I turned around, he was up in the projector screen, and he ducked. I'm like, what the? So we sat there for another 5 minutes, and they weren't turning them off. So I went to management. They're like, yo, we can't get the lights to turn off. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? What does that mean? What do you mean? They're like, well, we can give you your money back. I'm like, are you are you sabotaging my movie experience? Is that, and then I found out that it happened to hundreds of people in theaters across the United States. And I'm like, that was a coordinated attempt to get people out of the theater. In my opinion, I think there's no other reason.
Employees. It was employees.
Yeah, we did some research on it, and that's what the conclusion we came to anyway.
What?
We're not sure if that's true. It was more so just like a group of employees that were woke, that were trying to organize, and they possibly were trying to organize behind.
Well, I mean, if you look at the people that work at the theater, that's definitely.
Because I mean, I highly doubt that anybody at
No
corporate level
fucking way.
That David spoke out on that list of the producers and such.
But the difference is these guys tried to kill the film before.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, it's a conspiracy, obviously.
The only thing that, and I thought that too, and then we discussed it and we did a little investigation, and it makes more sense that the theaters are not going to want. They don't give a fuck. Especially right now, that's a big FU to the studios to have a movie like Sound of Freedom make the kind of money it is. In fact, I know they're salivating over this Taylor Swift movie.
Some of the viral videos, you have like the actual theater manager, like the hot come out and like give them a run of the mill excuses, and it's like, well, is the management in on it too, or is it just the like I don't get, you know what I mean?
My point is basically like you just said. You go to any one of these places, chances are 90% of their employees are going to be the wokest of the woke.
Yes.
And they all felt the same way. Yeah.
Are they going to be activists to the point where they're going to do something like that?
Yes, they would. I would believe it out of them before I would believe that the actual, like, corporate is telling them to do that. Yeah.
They sell them pins at my theater.
What?
So it's like, yeah,
wow.
I think, yeah, it's. I'm just like, what?
So all you need is one person to fill an entire theater.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the AMC president or CEO or whatever who came out and made a statement saying that they were absolutely not, supporting that?
Well, it makes no sense, and that's kind of another time where I'm like, yeah, I mean, why would even any? Because they're
want to make money more than anything.
And they are not being friendly with the studios right now. So why would they even play in? And what does Disney have anymore to really play their card, right? Because I could see that because Disney has done practices like this in the past. They've done nefarious practices.
Didn't they buy up seats for Captain Marvel?
That was through the they had a feminist group that they bought up a bunch of seats, and that was the other thing is they were trying to paint. The Angel Studios Pay It Forward program, much like the Golden Open and the Feminist Opening and the Black Panther Opening, where they literally had, it was a completely different situation as far as I'm concerned, because the Pay It Forward program, the way it worked is you as an individual could donate to that program, and then if say, somebody who could not financially afford to go see the movie or whatever, you go in, you fill out an application, and you literally get your tickets that way. The way the other programs worked was they were taking women's organizations, black movement organizations, and Chinese rights organizations, and having those charities pay for the tickets directly. So and they were trying to paint that as the same kind of thing, and they're like, that's where I was jumping and saying, oh no, this is a completely different way that this works. Now, at the end of the day, the money is still going to the movie, that is true, but they're not like, there's people trying to say that, they're just buying empty seats. No, they're not. That's not how it works. They're actually, you have to go in and apply for those tickets.
Yeah, you do. I did. I got one.
I looked on their website, and you would buy the tickets if you had some kind of organization. You buy your tickets, and then you get reimbursed.
Yeah, so on the other side of that, too, plus that, what they also had, and this is what Six brought to my attention, is that if, say, like, I run a local organization and I buy a theater and for my organization and we go see Sound of Freedom, they will reimburse them up to, I can't remember how much percentage it was, but it was 75 or 80% through that program, through the Pay It Forward program. So all that was going to people actually going to see the movie, as opposed to the Disney stuff where it was just these organizations buying tickets, and that's where people were going, these were sold out shows, but nobody's here. Because they were busing people into these shows, and they didn't have enough people to fill seats.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was that if you had a theater that was 75% sold, then they would reimburse you.
That's what it was. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, I had it backwards. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was several months ago.
Yeah. But yeah, so the way they were doing it was much different than the way that the whole Disney scam was.
Yeah, indeed. That about wraps that up, and thanks for the super chat. That was quite the discussion there, wasn't it? And then moving on with the super chats, Peanut Chase Helicopter 4 says for $2, War is mad, the left made V for Vendetta real. I'm not sure that he's going to see it that way. I think
he wrote it as the intent of the far right, but it turns out in reality, it's the opposite.
He wrote it and criticized Thatcher.
Yeah, it's not always the side that you're rooting against the one that gets hijacked and taken over. And Tom says that the anti.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back.
Like my shit just went total ape shit on me. I was like, what the fuck?
You've had problems with that, Mike, ever since you.
Yeah, I don't like this. It was more expensive than a Blue Yeti, and I think I'm going to go back to a Blue Yeti. I'll be 100% honest with you. I got HyperX.
So just when they don't play the
We that's one thing we will. Yeah, we don't talk about people we will use. In fact, that reminds us, Andre.
It does indeed. This is a good time for it.
Because Andre's trying to make my life different. I was going to say something else, but
yeah, I am because Tom is working his ass off, and this is good and well. But since Tom is busy working his ass off, he doesn't have time to make proper food. Tom has a problem. Tom likes tasty food. Tom likes
Taco
Bell and Taco Bell and these kinds of things, which I don't blame him for. They're delicious, and they're fast, easy, and they're cheap, and they're going to put you in an early fucking grave. We can't have that, because I need you toiling for me for a long, long time to come.
So we got a new sponsor, and we have an idea that we might work on here. We're curious what you guys think about it. Would you guys like to see over on Midnight's Edge After Dark my journey to trying to eat better and lose weight via our new sponsor, Factor 75? Now, this isn't even something we proposed or talked to them about.
What's hard to eat?
Me not dying, I guess. I don't know.
What number of pounds will we set as the goal for you to achieve
50 at least. I don't know.
Will it stop you from talking so much?
No.
No, it'll make him talk even more, because he'll be more fit.
Just get a treadmill and just do your strings on the treadmill.
I just won't be so like all the time, probably. I guess
we'll take what we can get. But
anyway, I'm always down for someone getting healthy.
Yeah, we get a lot of sponsorship offers, and I know some people think that we accept too many sponsorships as we do, but actually we are very selective about them as a whole. And here is one that I am very proud to host for the channel, and one that I actually think is something really, really good. So I'm like thinking, where the hell was this when I needed it? So Tom, roll the clip.
Yeah, so here's our new sponsor, Factor 75. Check them out.
For most of us, prepared meals usually means frozen pizza and stuff like that, which unfortunately is anything but healthy. But it no longer has to be this way. Today, you too can have the luxury of having every meal be healthy and prepared for you, courtesy of Factor 75, the sponsor of this video. What they do is as brilliant as it is simple. As you can see from their website, they offer healthy eating made simple. All you have to do is pick your meals from a menu of more than 30 dietitian-designed meals every week. They
take you right up to the penthouse floor.
So how we doing?
Good. Just coming up on the penthouse. Coords are on your GPS.
Alright, look. Act natural. No guns. Trust me. The crazy approach ain't worth it. Okay, look, find that asshole. Snatch whatever he's using to play the tracks.
Hell yeah, brother. The band is crushing it. Our shit's so underground, we haven't even heard of it. You still down for going to church on Sunday?
Yo everyone, live stream! First one to 1,000 viewers gets a spot in the hot tub!
Grab whatever he's using to play the tracks, and if you get a chance, man, shut his ass up. This fucking kid is annoying.
He's not even a kid. He's like 24 or something.
What the hell are you doing? Ugh, you stands are crazy! Hands up! Freeze!
Phones on the move. Fast.
Oh shit, hey, get after him. Don't leave nothing behind. Grab every fucking thing. All of his equipment. Hey, our cover is blown. Hey, start blasting. We got a man. Hey, can you see the kid? Hey. I need a medic. Hey, you gotta put these assholes down fast. Alright, shit, stay focused. Damn,
months. We wish you the best of luck in sending you all kinds of fucking that you can do what you gotta do. You starve yourself because that's your best bet at this
Just
point.
take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Yeah.
And then we've got Sadie. Oh, geez. We got Hotesh the Conqueror who wants to know, have you spoken of Bill Willingham today? Yeah, we did a little bit. We didn't get deep into his subject, but we got into the Alan Moore subject.
Sadie wants to participate in your health.
Well, she just got flustered by something.
She says,
outside.
"Take me for a walk, Tom."
I think she's got to go potty again. She saw a squirrel or something outside. But yeah, I don't have the story at hand here about Bill Willingham. But let me see if I can find
Who
it
the
here.
hell is Bill William?
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, me either.
Made Fables, and
We already. Oh,
we did discuss it.
Membership. Okay.
Yeah, just slightly, but not like the whole story. But couldn't afford to sue DC Comics, so Billy William put Fables in the public domain. After trying and failing to get DC to negotiate in good faith, Bill William has decided that everyone gets Fables. There you go. I guess that's the story there. I don't know much.
Okay, Dre's looking out for you at the studio. And this shit goes without saying, man. Don't be fucking up his car, alright? Hey, listen up. I just got a text from Jimmy. Sounds like Johnny Gunn sent his boys to the studio. They shooting the whole place to shit. Hey, get over there right now. Hey, how many guys did this motherfucker send? Hey, shit, man. Johnny Guns ain't playing. Hey, we gotta move. Shit, you gotta get in there. Hey, do you see Dre? Get inside and find him.
What the fuck are you waiting for? Start shooting, motherfucker. That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is anyone still breathing?
Don't worry. These guys ain't getting back up.
Hey, you know what? I gotta thank you for coming through.
Okay, I get it. Can we go now?
Yeah, calm down. Listen, I don't care how many shooters he sends. Johnny Guns will never run me out of my own fucking studio.
Johnny Guns? West Los Records Johnny Guns? I thought he was dead.
Oh, he's about
to be honest with you.
Now, oh, shoot.
God, darn.
Take to Twitter. Take to Twitter, and we'll definitely tag people in it. We'll definitely try and get.
This was an account with 1 million subscribers.
1,070,000.
I don't think the timing of this is at all. Yeah, like you just said, you were talking to sponsors with this fucking trailer dropping.
There was no warning for this.
No.
So
well, you'd already been demonetized, but yeah.
Right, but I didn't have any strikes. I had no strikes.
So you had zero strikes at all.
Yeah, but that's what this thing right here is for, like, due to multiple severe blah, 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 and then they list spam, deceptive practices, specific content, or other terms. You see, they basically just say the entire rule book, so they have like their back covered for there was something that we didn't like, or that we think we shouldn't like, and don't even ask us for more details. They basically just hit you with the entire freaking rule book. And completely unjustifiably so.
Okay, well, I need to get on the phone with someone immediately.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm gonna...
No problem. Check out Dark News. And like I said, post this on Twitter and stuff, and we'll definitely get it out there. Tag YouTube and all that stuff in it, too.
Okay, so I'll do that. Hey, guys, thank you so much for...
Keep me posted, man.
For having me on the stream. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Thanks, all you guys.
Yeah. Everyone check out the Dark News other channel. The link is in the description. Go subscribe there right now. And yeah, we need to get to work out. That's the other thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. It's on the screen. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Love you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to have you today. Good luck. Keep us posted.
I will. I'll be back soon with you guys still have me. So.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime.
All right, great, guys. Great. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you. Cheers. Cheers.
Oof. Oh, man. That's rough news.
Honestly, this has been a very real stream.
Yeah. Perverted Justice takes us out of the moment and says, update, St. Elmo's Fire makes sense when you're drunk. Okay. Are you talking about the movie, or...?
Yeah, because I've heard you talk before about the movie, how the movie doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's not so much that I didn't say it didn't make sense, I just said it doesn't really have a plot. It's just kind of events happening in a night kind of thing. In the last, it's a reunion kind of movie. It's a big chill kind of movie. Maybe that's what he's referring to. Well, thank you for Perverted Justice. Haven't seen you in a while. Good seeing you. Barachi is here and says, rest in peace, Cardinal Sin. Indeed. Yes, he will be missed by the community. Jonas J. Campbell had this question earlier, so here's the time to do it. Great panel. Midnight's Edge is gold standard in live streaming. We appreciate that, Jonas. Andre, where should I start with Conan Comics? This is the one that you were saving for the end. Where, indeed, Andre, should an individual start if they're just cutting their teeth on Conan?
That is a very, very big question. And the beauty of it is that with Conan, you can actually start pretty much anywhere. Because mostly every Conan story is kind of standalone. I can give you the basic setup for most of them, and that is Conan gets to a new place, fucks shit up with his presence, and everything goes to hell from one fashion there in a most thrilling fashion, and then he leaves afterwards. And that is basically how most stories begin and end.
And then somewhere in the middle there, usually uncovers some crap. I was just going to say, usually uncovers some crap or serves some justice, yeah.
Yes, and in between there, of course, you have some of the integrated storytelling, the practical storytelling there ever has been. And when you say, where should I start with Conan? Comics? Here's like the thing, the gold standard, of course, is the original stories by Robert E. Howard. Most most of them are absolutely fantastic. Which one should you Google? Okay, I will give you 3 stories. The first one is Tower of the Elephant. This is chronologically one of the first Conan stories, and it is the second Conan story written. This is the one that truly explores.
Oh God, him and Conan, go marry.
Of course, I'm happy to give you a more
I found out I'm consistent on this.
like you were hooking up and all.
Freaking doesn't matter what order I do it in.
Detailed list for recommendations. What's great?
2 hours and 16 minutes.
Well, I would always suggest like you start with
or
the Howard books.
Around there.
And then finding any of the Roy Thompson comics that Marvel did is pretty good. You have a better understanding of them than I, because I always I've got 2 versions. I've got kind of a soft cover, complete collections of Robert E. Howard, and I've got this big, thick, leather-bound one, which I don't like to open much because it's really delicate. So I read the soft cover. That's what I would stick to there. And then I'm very excited too. I've got them booked at a box at a comic book store, which is the Jim Zub's current run with Titan Comics and Conan. So I'm looking forward to those. But I would say, yeah, Robert E. Howard, and then some of the Roy Thompson stuff from I believe it's like the 70s, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm a little vague on that.
That is correct. It's 1970 to 1980. We started writing Sword of Conan in 1974. Actually, the first volume then of like the collected set of Sword of Conan, that may actually be the definitive Conan comics.
And that's my contribution to that. But Andrea is far more Conan than I.
Yeah. Then, since we're talking about that, Misu wonders, I want a Norwegian show recommendation, Andre. Okay. For a show, an introductory show, Lilyhammer. This is quite a cool show.
Lilyhammer, right?
From
I watched that.
From Sopranos, played by Steve
Van Zandt.
Yeah, you know what happened after Sopranos? Well, his character went undercover in the city of Lillehammer, Norway. Show that was 3 seasons, so check that out.
Yeah, it was good.
That is a pretty cool one.
It was alright.
It was Netflix's very first show.
Yes, indeed it was. Indeed it was. It was actually a Norwegian production that they just acquired afterwards. It was already in production. And another Norwegian show recommendation. I'm going to say Norseman. That's a show. It's a satire. It's kind of like
it's very funny.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's
so
funny.
That out as well.
It's funny. Ghost is funny.
Recommendation. I'm gonna go classic. I'm gonna say for the fairy
motherfuckers out and let's go.
Sounds like you got some shit to deal with. Hey, Monty, can you track Johnny's position while our friend concentrate on not getting shot? On it.
FYI, Johnny is making some serious calls. Private pilot, private kill squad, you know the kind of thing.
Oh, nah, this motherfucker ain't gonna fly away from shit. Hey, get down to the airport.
Looks like Johnny's pulled up. You're coming up on him now.
Hey, this is it. I'm tired of chasing this motherfucker. Hey, get in here. Hey, it sounds like some heavy shit. One way or another, this ended right here. Hey, is that it? Cause I don't hear nothing. But if that motherfucker's still alive, go get his ass.
This is bullshit. Fuck y'all. Get the fucking hands off. Yo, Dre.
Johnny.
Hold up, man.
You took something that belongs to me.
That's some bullshit. Got mad respect for you.
Respect? What the fuck do you know about respect?
Come on, man. You know me.
You just tried to blackmail me.
I had to hustle hard to get that thing, man. I was just trying to get paid. Listen, I'm sorry. I can wipe the files, track them down, drag and make this shit right on God.
You just tried to kill me. But you know what? Let's forget about that for a minute. The track's in my phone. That shit leaked, my nigga. The shit is out there. There's no putting that genie back in the bottle. Johnny, do you think I'm a fucking dummy or something?
Let me keep it real.
Fuck you.
And fuck you too, then.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Take your ass back to the golf course, motherfucker. This the streets. You way out your element, man.
It's funny that you should say that because, I got my clubs right here. And by the way, I like the 9-iron. That's my favorite. Never fails me, you know? It feels so sweet, so nice, and you can really get a hold of it. You know what I mean? Now, that's a great club. And I tell you what, man. Bitch! Ass! Motherfucker! I don't even feel bad anymore. The demos are out there, and there's nothing I can do about it. And you know what? Turns out, hey, golf does put me in a better mood. All right, can you give me a ride home? I got something I want you to hear. Let's ride. Hey, listen. I feel like we've been through a lot together, yeah? But this shit right here, it's put a lot of stuff in perspective for me. Jimmy was right. I've got to stop holding on too tight. I've got to start putting some of these demos out that I've been working on for so many years. You have no idea how much shit I've got. But you want to hear something? Okay. This is a world premiere. Right here. Right now. I got the chopper waiting. Let's go. Hey, what the fuck? All right then, take it easy. What the fuck did you just do?
There's the boss. Hello.
Oi.
Have a good day. How can I help you? Oh, hi.